Hello and welcome to the Cubbears fan report for Saturday, May the 18th, 2024. And this is brought to you by Table 127 Restaurant in downtown Iuka, Mississippi, where we enjoyed ourselves last night, sang some karaoke. And I always warned people that the more you drink, the better I sound. And a lot of people heeded that advice, but nobody got out of whack or anything. We had a great steak, well done and well prepared. I didn't get it well done. I mean, it was done well, but it was medium. I had a medium rare steak, and I enjoyed every minute of it, singing in between bites. And that's something they're going to do every other Friday night in downtown Iuka. If you're in the area, if you're heading up to the Lock and Dam, which is on the Tennessee-Mississippi border, a lot of people like to stop in Iuka on the way up there. In any case, what I want to tell you is that the Cubs are leading the league in soft tissue injuries as yet another pitcher goes down. Colton Brewer is on the 15-day IL, and Keegan Thompson is sick with some sort of viral illness, so he went down to the IL as well. And the Cubs brought up Porter Hodge, who's going to make his major league debut when he gets his first chance. But there's a lot more to report about that. The Cubs are now out of roster pitchers in Iowa. I keep wondering when they're going to bring up Carl Edwards Jr. and David Bodie, neither of whom are on the roster, but they are major leaguers, players with major league experience, and I keep waiting for them to come up. Yesterday, the Cubs got really shut down by Paul Skeens, who was their high-profile rookie who started last week against the Cubs in Pittsburgh, and he threw 6 innings of no-hit baseball, 11 strikeouts, and finally had to go out because he had a high pitch count. He is from Lake Forest, California, which, if you recall, if you've watched, my nephew has been mentioned on my podcast as well. They live in Lake Forest, so it's interesting that he's from the same community in Orange County, California, that my sister and my nephew live in. So I wonder if our paths have ever crossed. In any case, let's talk a little bit about the Bears. The Bears have some interesting matchups that a lot of people are projecting. They don't play in a conference till the 11th week and then have to play all 6 conference games through the end of the season from that point onwards. That's an interesting way of doing things. But the Bears have interesting matchups, starting with week 2 at Houston on Sunday night, where they're going to go up against C.J. Stroud. And that's the guy who the Bears could have drafted the year before, who they passed on. So it'll be interesting to see if they're better off with Caleb Williams, who they got this year as a result of their trade. They also get to play the Panthers again, who drafted Bryce Young with their first pick. And that's how the Bears got the first pick of the draft this year, because they got a lot of picks, including the 2 first-rounders that they have this year, their own first-rounder at number 9, and then they had Carolina's first-rounder at number 1, in which they used to get Caleb Williams. Other interesting weeks is week 8. The Bears will go to the Commanders in Washington, and they drafted Jaden Daniels, and that's another guy who the Bears chose not to take. So it's going to be all these quarterbacks who the Bears have passed up. And week 10, the Bears will host New England, who drafted Drake May. And you can see what happens when you draft a high-profile quarterback but don't have anybody to build around him. So this is the Cubbears fan report. Also want to mention that the Bears are going to play against J.J. McCarthy twice, who's with the Vikings. So this is going to be a very interesting development. The Cubbears fan report. And don't forget to support Table 127 if you find yourself in Iuka, Mississippi. If you're watching from California or somewhere far away, I don't expect you'll be able to do that. But they do fix a good steak, and they do have karaoke every other Friday along with open mic night. They're trying to do some things to make it interesting. And there's a good ambiance and a good atmosphere, and everybody was real nice. They even clapped for my singing, which is surprising. I even tried a country song by Chris Stapleton. But that's a whole nother story. Cubbears Fan Report, please like and subscribe and support my sponsors. Thank you. Have a great day and a great May.